Hi, it's Tony from CassetteComeback.com. Right, before we start, two things. One, yes, I still have a cold. Third week now. And two, I'm trying out yet another microphone and I'm hoping this one sounds better. It's a condenser. Let's hope it sounds better because I've been experimenting on the other videos and it sounded too great. So, what am I looking at today? Well, this is a video that a lot of you have asked for, especially those of you in Germany. And I'm going to try and do it now because, you know, stuck at home, might as well do something useful with my time. So we're going to look at Agfa tapes. Yes, now the reason I've held off on the Agfa is not because I don't like them. It's just that, well, at least here in the UK, they're not common and they're quite expensive. And getting hold of these, you know, I haven't specifically bought these. The cassettes I'm going to show you today came in job lots and there was only the odd one or two. And whenever I've got any in any decent amount and put it on the web store, they've sold out really quickly, usually to people in Germany. So you guys are really proud of these. So Agfa, so a lot of people know them for the film more than anything else, but big conglomerate, do a lot of stuff with imaging, and I know in my personal job they now do a lot with healthcare products and, you know, body scanners, etc. So yeah, big company. But back in the day, Agfa were one of the big players. Maybe you didn't see the cassettes for sale as often as you maybe would other brands, but in the duplicator market, you know, their tape was big in duplicator markets and they did a lot of OEMs for other people. I mean, if you saw a cassette that wasn't Agfa and wasn't BASF, but said made in Germany, chances are, you know, there was a 50% chance that it had Agfa tape in it. So why we didn't see so many in the UK, I don't know. And certainly now, Agfa stuff isn't common at all. But let's have a look at some of the stuff. So we've got stuff like this. This is the early chrome dioxide from the... This will be from early 80s, this one. Now, it's quite a nice looking cassette. The shells on a lot of the Agfas stayed the same for a long time, because if we look at this stereo chrome 90+6, which sounds good, BASF SM mechanism in there, and we look at this CRX, we can see basically it's the same shell but from different time periods, and this is, you know, looks like sort of almost like the same shell I'm using on my cassette comeback M60s, but these aren't Lenco shells, but these are, like I say, one's got red lead and one's got the blue, different generations but very similar shells. The only problem I've got with these now, and why I'm not going to be reviewing these two in particular, is that basically these are single coat chrome and I got these used and there's two problems with them. One, it's the slip sheets in them are really squeaky, they've dried out maybe, but this seems to be on all of the used ones I've had, and I've had to basically replace them to get anything out of them. But because they're single coat chrome, these have degraded a bit like the BASF early 80s single coat chrome, insofar as I can't get the levels high enough to record on these, even on like a ZX9, and I always figure if a ZX9 can't record it, then nothing can. So it's a shame, but that's why I haven't, you know, included these in the video and done one earlier with these, because they just simply don't sound as good as they should. And likewise, this one, you know, 90+6, I like that they always did a little bit extra. This is a super ferrodynamic, again with the SM mechanism in it, and this one is just dropout central. It just really does sound bad, which is a shame. Very BASF shell on this one, because of course BASF later bought Agfa's magnetic media division and merged them, but again, this isn't really usable. I don't know if brand new sealed ones are, or this is bad storage, but again, not a usable cassette. But let's have a look at some today which are usable. Now, in the UK, the only real Agfa cassette I remember was this, the LNX, which was the entry-level ferro, and I remember these used to be given away in, I think it was Esso stations, Esso petrol stations, or Exxon if you're in the USA, and that's where I remember seeing these, just in there. But I'm not going to, again, I'm not going to run this one today. We're going to go a bit higher because we're going to look at this one for the basic ferric, the Ferrocolor HD. Whenever I get these in stock, they fly out the door. And you know, the 90s, it seemed to be harder to get in the Agfas than the 60s, but we'll look at this one. So let's have a look what it says on the back. Ferrocolor HD, oh, it's German first. And then, ooh, yeah. There we go. English at the bottom. Yeah, let us know. Low noise, highly packed ferric oxide, optimised for excellent compatibility with the new IEC I reference tape equalisation ferric. Okay, so it's trying to be an IEC I reference. Very good. Now, the LNX, just quickly what it says at the back. It just says high precision for all cassette recorders, smooth run, low noise. I don't know, I think this is later, but I think these formulations from what I've been reading about are pretty much the same, and the shells, again, are pretty much the same. So I think, you know, this is just like a cheaper rebrand of this one. But yeah. Now, moving up a bit, we're going to look at this, which is the FDX I, which is basically a super ferro from Agfa. Oh, look at that, hey, look. Super snaps. Wow, £65,000. That was expensive. That must be a code on it. Super snaps were, believe it or not, like a little place where you took your films to be developed. Simple as that. And they disappeared. But, you know, Agfa being big on film, they probably sold a lot of Agfa films. So, yeah, you saw Agfa cassettes in for selling super snaps. But I don't want to unwrap this now. I love finding cassettes with old price stickers of companies that no longer exist in them. But let's have a see what this says. It says extremely low noise tape with ultra fine magnetic particles, optimal compatibility with all compact cassette recorders. This super universal cassette will give first class sound quality across a wide range with minimal distortion. Okay, we'll see about that, but yeah, so that's a super ferric. Again, the only time I normally see these is in 60s. I have one, which is a 90 in my personal collection, but that's about it. And then moving up from the super ferric, we're going to look at these. These are gorgeous, and I want to thank my friend Marcus for sending me this one. Thank you, Marcus, and strangely enough, he's in Germany. The SRX-S Studio Recording Performance Extended Spectrum. Look at that, 3D, you know, it's dynamic and the bass, yeah, very good. It looks good, doesn't actually prove anything, but there we go. The top cassette in the Super Chrome class, so this has got to be a double coat. The dynamic peak profile of the SRX-S within the extended frequency range enables the most complex signal structures to be handled securely for state-of-the-art equipment. Oh yeah, what a beautiful tape that is. So, let's do some unwrapping, shall we? Like I say, I'm not going to look at the LNX because it's basically the same as the Ferrocolor. So, now, I'm just curious now. Yeah, I know this looks stupid, but the way this is tearing, this wrapper, it reminds me of the way that the Socky Mag and the Tudors and the Dixon's Agfas, because Dixon's, like I say, Dixon's cassettes, a lot of them were made by Agfa. In fact, there's a video if you want to look at house brand cassettes. I'll put a link to it here. Bing. But the way these tear, it's distinctive. They have distinctive serrated tear, which says that they're Agfa. So, yeah, these tear the same way. Oh, it'd be nice to be able to just slide this off, but I'm not going to be able to, so I have to tear it. Well, there we go. So, let's have a look. Yeah, very distinctive shell with the one there and there. In fact, I think it's probably the same. Is it the same shell as this one? No, it's not actually. This is missing the screw there, where this one has an extra screw. So yeah, it's not exactly the same shell. But yeah, 4 screwed. Let's have a look at the tape. Probably a nice brand. Let's have a look. Yeah, the clear blue leader. So what we got? Oh, incidentally, Nagaoka tape winder, vintage. No, I don't know where you can get one. Okay, right. Just a very deep reddy brown ferric. So yeah, like I said, probably like the LNX formula. It should be pretty decent. So that's the Ferrocolor. Right, let's have a look at the FDX I with the Super Snap sticker on, which I don't want to open, but I'm going to anyway. Right. Let's open this way. Let's have a see if this tears in the distinctive jagged Agfa way. Yes, it does. It's, yeah, the serrated, you see it, the serrated tearing, which seems to be the case on all Agfa based wrappers. Very clean, but yeah, this, like I say, it's a sign if a cassette is Agfa or not. Oh please, oh there we go, I'm happy about that. I can save the Super Snap label, yay. Right, the FDX I now, this is a different shell. Oh, that's a nice shell, isn't it? Very nice looking. Agfa in there. Oh yeah, that's a nice looking shell, that. Let's have a look. Ooh, rock, jazz, classic dance, pop and folk. I don't know what else you'd do that for. Oh, there's some extra writing in this one. Let's have a look. Handling precautions. Oh, okay. But, pretty plain J card there. Actually, we didn't look at the inside of the J card on this one. Sorry and all that. Oh yeah, that's a boring one. But at least it's a nice matte paper, and you will actually be able to write on it. Because the amount of J cards that are like designed for pens that don't exist, they're all shiny and it stays wet for days and you end up smudging them. But yeah, this is nice looking tape. Let's have a look. Now for a super ferric. It doesn't look cobalt up to me. In fact, it looks very, very similar to the regular FEI. We'll have to see. We'll see if the bias and calibrate the same. But yeah, it doesn't. But then again, the Fuji FRIS is a super ferric, and that looks very brown. So the colour of the tape doesn't mean a lot sometimes. It can tell you whether it's cobalt doped or not, but if it's ultra fine packed regular ferric, it doesn't. And this one, this is painful to open, the only one I've got, but thanks again, Marcus. Have a look. Yes, the serrated, jagged. Yeah. Oh, this one slides off too as well. Oh, and I nearly broke the case doing it, which I don't want to do. Yeah, SRX-S, so smoked case. Nice G set of stickers. Stick them on the bottom, they say, so down there. Day card. Yeah. But it's very attractive if you remember the ECP video with the Russian cassette ones being same type of shell, but it looks like they were actually the Russians actually bought the molds from Agfa to remake these. But I like this. It's almost like a Mickey Mouse sort of shell because it looks like Mickey Mouse, and also a bit like the MAXG and MAR shells. But so this is a Type 2. Let's spin it on a bit now. Is this a chrome? No, that smells like a ferrocobalt. That isn't a chrome, but I'm sort of guessing because of the age of this and the fact that BASF had bought Agfa at this time, because you know these hubs sort of say BASF. Seen them on like a lot of the record BASFs and the sound BASFs, these sort of hubs. But I'm thinking this is probably got the ferrocobalt, which was in the M-Tech Chrome Super 2s towards the end, but we shall see how well it performs. But yeah, so we've got ferric, super ferric, and a Type 2. Where's the metal? Dunno. I've never owned an Agfa metal. They're very hard to find. I don't know if Agfa actually made their own metals or if they were loaded by other people, but I've never had one to actually try out. So anyway, enough of me gassing. Let's go and fire up a deck, and I think because these are German again, we've got to use a Revox, you know, for its German brethren. Let's have a listen to see how good they are. Okay, so we're going to use the Revox like I said, and we're going to use stuff from the YouTube audio library. Now, before I start, just bear with me. I don't know if you noticed this, I just reviewed that video to see if this microphone sounded any decent, and it does sound alright. It's just very deep because, like I say, I've got a cold still. But I realised with this Agfa CRX, I said, oh, they were sounding bad. Look, I only realised this one is the mouldy. So it's been storage problem with this one, so maybe if they were stored better these would be alright, but this one, as you can see there, yeah, it's definitely mouldy. So just wanted to verify that. And also on the FDX I didn't show you these little graphs at the back, and this basically says that this cassette will have more bass than it will treble. So I just thought I'd point that out. But anyway, we've got the Ferrocolor HD in the Revox. It's already biased up. I'm going to turn the input level down a bit there because I was just testing it. It's running a bit hot. But this comes from the YouTube audio library this time, and I'm not using electronica this time. I'm going to use something with a bit of rock sort of country to it, real instruments. So, well, hey, breaking new ground all the time. But this is called The DeLong Incident. Let's have a listen. Right, it's running a bit hot. Let's turn it down just a bit. Okay, just for fun, let's put Dolby B on this. Yeah, it seems to have lost all the top end. Let's turn Dolby B off. So yeah, I mean, this is a perfectly competent ferric. I mean, I thought it was a bit hissy. Maybe, I don't know, I put the Dolby B on, it was a bit too hot, but the Dolby B killed the top end completely on this. Maybe I needed to calibrate it with Dolby B on, but I don't know because I never normally use an NR. But yeah, when it wasn't quiet, a very decent, competent Type 1. So yeah, there we go. So, let's move on to the FDX I, which we're guessing is probably the super ferric here. So let's calibrate this up. Spin it on a bit. Okay, align, record, right. Okay, let's just let it calibrate itself up. And I'm going to use a tune called the Old RV this time. And what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to start it off at the same level as we just had the Ferrocolor, and then I'm going to crank it up a bit. You know, I'm peaking at +4, maybe even touching +6. Let's see how it copes, see if it can do it without the distortion, and let's see if this has all this extra bass that they claim. So let me just cue the old tune up, the Old RV. Let's see how it sounds. Okay, let's give it some level. Okay, so yeah, it's a very nice looking cassette, this. Yeah, again, it had a bit of hiss, but you know, it's a ferric. Peaking at +6 there. The normal way I can tell if a cassette can't take it is more than just sensing for distortion. It's whether the top end fades away, and this kept its top end still peaking at +6. I sensed a little bit of distortion at the lower levels, but then again, this, you know, this is quite a bassy track, but all in all, a very, very good performer. Would I say this is as good as something like a Fuji FRI Super or a HFES or the Ferro Maxima? No, but I don't think this was playing in that category anyway. But yeah, this is a very decent, nice looking ferric. It's easily as good as an AD, so yeah, nice one. So let's move on now to the SRS. Now, hang on a second. SRS, wasn't this an SRX-S? Anyway, let's get this biased up and I'll be back in a second. Yeah, so the tape says SRS, and you saw me open it, but the wrapper says SRX-S. So I'm really gutted now, because Marcus, who sent me this, probably didn't notice, but this was a rare factory mistake. They put the wrong tape in the wrapper, because the SRS is one down from the SRX-S this is supposed to be. Is the other side of the cassette say XRS as well? Yeah, SRS as well. Yeah, so this isn't the top of the range that it purports to be. And like I say, if it had stayed in the wrapper, it would have probably been worth more, because these mistake wrapped cassettes usually are. But hey ho, that's the nature of the channel. We've opened it now, so let's enjoy it. But it's still a nice looking cassette. I'm sure it'll perform well. But yeah, I just noticed that then. SRS. So this next tune is called I Found DB Cooper. Yeah, I Found DB Cooper. DB Cooper, that's the guy the FBI had been hunting for years, who supposedly robbed a plane and then jumped out of the back of it with a parachute, and they never found him. But yeah, this tune's called I Found DB Cooper. Let me just take the input level down a bit and we can crank it up as it goes. So let's have a listen. yeah, so this isn't the super duper professional, good as any other cassette Chrome Type 2. It's not even a Chrome, it's just a Type 2 out there, but still very nice looking cassette, performed very admirably. I mean, like I say, these YouTube audio library tunes aren't the best to begin with quality wise, so you know, don't judge it on how it sounds compared to that as opposed to how it sounds full stop, you know, because the original had a little bit of distortion at the start, but other than that, yeah, really nice cassette. It's just a shame it's not the top of the range one that we thought it was, but yeah, lovely black tape. Yeah, very good. I'll enjoy putting something good on that. And just to finish off, just for the hell of it, let's try this original stereo Chrome. Let's see if this can bias it up and see if we can get any sort of decent recording on this. You see, even if I'm fast forwarding this, it's stopping. But yeah, just for the fun of it, let's see if we can get a good recording on this, maybe, because I don't think I've tried this on this deck. I haven't tried these for a while because when I got them it's like, oh, this doesn't sound good, and I stopped trying to use them. But who knows now, maybe the old Revox can put some good stuff on it and breathe it back to life, because it is a nice looking cassette and I'd like to think it worked. But yeah, now this one is another one called Power Shut Off from the YouTube audio library. So let's have a see. I'm going to take the level down a bit because I don't want this to peak over zero, because this one, let me just, yeah, this one definitely is a true Chrome. So yeah, let's have a listen. Yeah, that's probably why I didn't use these. You heard the wow and flutter there, yeah? It's like I said, the slip sheets, I don't know if you can see from this angle, no you can't, but the slip sheets in these are paper, and it's got the security mechanism as well. And a lot of people say, there's nothing wrong with the security mechanism. So, do you know what I'm going to do? Bear with me, I'm going to take the security mechanism out of this. I'm going to try and replace the slip sheets with some I've got from a Duff cassette, and let's see if I can't make this sound better. I'll be right back. Oh well, since some of you are masochists, let's I might as well video this, the replacement of the SM. So I'm just going to rewind this all the way to the start, because you don't want to try doing this mid-tape, and I'm going to use this as a donor tape. And before you say, oh no, it's a capture, yes, look at this. This tape is one I got second hand, and I'll show you the tape on it. It's tram-line to hell. It's just absolutely, you look at that tape, look at it. See if we can get a nice focus on it, but it's really been battered, this tape. It's just full of dropouts, losing levels, so it's no real use. And the shell, I mean, look at the screw on the shell, you know. I'm thankful, and I said this, you know, regarding the Maxim, that I'm not in a stage in my life where I need to salvage stuff like this. I can just take the bits I want out and throw it away. So I'm going to take this apart, take the slip sheets out, because they can only be better than the ones in this Agfa, and that's basically all I want for this. The tape I don't want. The shell is absolutely, it's horrible. Yeah, oh, look at this, there's a bit scored. The slip sheets even there. But let's see if it fits. Take that out. Yeah, scored slip sheets to be fair, but they can only, like I say, be no worse than what's in the Agfa. So yes, sorry, that's going in the bin, the rest of it now. Don't write and say, please send to me why. It's rubbish. Right, so let's open the Agfa up now. The old slotted screws, you can't put Phillips screws on this. Okay, that's one. If I can get the screw. This is why I don't even try and repair my own cassette decks, because I'm absolutely all thumbs when it comes to stuff like this. At least this is the one with only the 4 screws in and not the 5. And this doesn't seem to want to open up. I haven't missed a screw anywhere. Really doesn't want to open up. Is it welded in the middle there or something? I don't know. No, this doesn't want to open up at all. Is there a screw underneath somewhere? Bizarre. Bizarre. It feels like this is welded here. Because I can get the rest of the shell, but not that piece. That piece seems like it's welded shut. That's really bizarre. Do you have to break that bit? I don't want to have to snap it, but I can't see any other way of opening this. Yeah, that is not opening. That's bizarre. I don't know what to say on this one. Well, I can't really continue with this cassette, really, because why bother putting the rest of the screws in if you're going to weld it shut anyhow? There, answers on the postcard. Oh, there we go. Hey. Oh well, never mind. Brute force, yes. So it looks like that bit there, yeah, is really in there. But like I say, look at these wax paper slip sheets. Nice. Ooh. Yeah, lovely. So, So there's a spring pad, which the pad has come off anyway. So that's good. That could be another reason why it sounded bad. Let's see if we can get the bits together. So there's one roller. There's a metal shield. That's part of the security mechanism, which we don't want. That's part of the security mechanism, which we don't want. And now I've got the tape all on the floor. And this is the thing. If you want to rewind tape again when it's done this, the trick is to have it weighted on the other side and have it dangling in free air, and then you can just ease it back together like this. And I might be here a little while because this flew everywhere when we opened this up, but never mind. We're there in a couple of minutes. Let's have some elevator music. Do 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 do. Oh, this is going to take forever. Just give me a second. I'm going to wind this up and come back. Okay, it's back in. The SM mechanism has gone. Let's just put this on the other side of the tape. Put it back together and let's see if it can actually... That's a sneeze. Let's see, that's popped out of the guides now. Ugh, I hate doing this. See if it pushes back together. Okay, so it's back together now. Put the screws in and then give it a wind. See if it will wind smoothly. I'll have to wind it all the way to the other side just to make sure it does it properly. And then we'll see if this little transplant of replacing the pad which had fallen off, the waxy paper slip sheets, and the removal of the SM mechanism has actually enabled this to now get rid of all that wow and flutter we were listening to. And if after all that it's worth it. Okay, so that's it back together. Let's give it a wind, see if it winds. Okay, not the fastest winding I've ever seen, but yeah, it seems to be okay. Right, let's get back onto the Revox and see if this sounds any better now. Take your time, mate. Whenever you're ready. There we go. Right, see if it sounds any better. Okay, so it's back in, it's back calibrated. Let's get that song again, that power shut off, and let's see if this still has that mad wow and flutter it had before. Okay, it's a little bit hot, I don't want it to go above zero, so I'm going to take it down a bit. Well, one flutter seemed to go there. There was some slight dropouts at the start, and towards the end of that little bit there was a bit of a dropout on the left. But on the whole, yeah, that sounded decent, didn't it? Yeah, it sounded all right. So, yeah, old Agfa Chrome's decent enough tape. Just the slip sheets and the pad just seemed to be not working so well, and of course the SM mechanism's gone. But now, yeah, this is a usable tape that sounds good. The truth. So I hope that sated the appetite of some of you who were wondering about the old Agfa cassettes, because like I said, the Ferrocolor HD, very decent entry-level ferric tape, you know, bit of hiss. You know, I don't think it was better than a D or a HF, but yeah, it was all right, nothing wrong with that. And then the super ferric, the FDX I, lovely shell. I really like the shell with the Agfa in, and maybe this won't be such a pain to open like the other one that I just did, but lovely looking cassette, sounded well. Again, bit of hiss. I'd say it was as good as an AD. And then the SRS, which should have been the SRX-S. Not impressed with the old quality control there, Agfa. How does that happen? Wrong cassettes on the wrong production line? Is this just a wrong slip sheet? Who knows, but a very decent Ferrocobalt Type 2. And then, after a bit of massaging and rescuing and getting rid of SMs and changing slip sheets, yeah, I mean, it's an old tape this, but when it was running nicely. Oh, and incidentally, here's a picture of the actual tape inside of that Chrome 60, which looked mouldy. Yeah, proper mouldy. That went straight in the bin. So yeah, there we go. Some Agfa tapes for you. Now, the other brand which I keep getting asked a lot to do is Axia. And Axias look lovely in the Fuji, and I really like Fuji tapes. The problem is I don't have any Axia. The only way to get Axia is to get them from Japan. And when you're bidding on auctions in Japan, you're bidding with all the Eastern European hoarders and flippers. And I ain't paying that price. It's as simple as that. So don't expect an Axia video from me unless, you know, you want to send me 4 different Agfa cassettes. I'll gladly do a video on them, but I ain't paying the money that all the Eastern European dealers and hoarders are paying for Agfa cassettes. It's as simple as that, so it's not going to happen. So thanks for watching. Like I say, these are strange times, so be safe. Don't act as if you want to not get coronavirus yourself. Act as if you think you've already got it and try and protect other people from getting it. That's how you should act. Not, oh, I'll be right, I won't get it. No, think, if I had it, how do I stop other people getting it? That's what we need to do in these days of paranoia. If you hadn't noticed, my website is now not accepting any payments. I've kept it up there because I don't want to lose all the Google search optimization I put in, because if I take it down, Google will stop sniffing it and that's the end of that. But you can't actually check out, simply because we've been told here in the UK, stay at home. The only reason you should go out is if you need essential food purchases, if you need medicals stuff, if you need medical assistance, you're checking on somebody who needs medical assistance, or if you're going to work in one of the designated, you know, needed jobs, you know, police, etc., food production and all that. And yeah, so stay safe, because I can't actually go and send parcels anymore. I'm not supposed to go out and drop these off at the post office. So until then, the website's offline. As soon as this all gets lifted, then obviously it'll be back on again. But don't go out hoarding food. Just think about it, right? Food production by its very nature has to take place in sanitary conditions. Sanitary conditions are not where coronavirus will spread, so they're going to keep making food. And the supermarkets, it's like a second Christmas for them. They're coining it in, so they obviously want to sell it. So food's going to still be made and supermarkets are still going to sell it. So don't hoard it, okay? There's going to be plenty to go around. So other than that, please stay safe. Got lots of time now to do some good taping. So please like and subscribe. And yeah, I think we're going to get another video in the not too distant future. Just depends how bored I get. So take care. Bye bye.